Microsoft's gearing up for a spring hardware event? Let's talk about it. Ah, yes, springtime. The flowers are starting to come out, the grass is turning green, and Microsoft is gearing up for yet another hardware event. Now, I don't know the scale of this hardware event because sometimes Microsoft does these things and they're pretty quiet. It's just like a refresh and kind of, it's not a big PR style thing. And then there's other times where they go all out, like when they announced the initial Surface laptop alongside Windows 10s. That was a big event. And so here we are in the springtime, and Microsoft is once again lining up to launch new hardware products in the spring. Now, there's going to be I think several things, I almost said a bunch, but several things on the agenda. And one of the things we've been talking about here on this channel a little bit is the Surface Laptop 4, and it looks like that is definitely on the horizon. And now we have a better understanding of the chipsets. It looks like they're going to be using AMD 4000 series chips in the refresh of the Surface Laptop 4, which honestly is a bit disappointing because, well, I believe last gen was 3000 series, and then they're going to 4000 series. But the problem is AMD is already talking about 5000 series chips. And so, as is tried and true and traditional in the Surface lineup, they're launching new products with some older chipsets. Microsoft has done this before, namely with the Surface Studio. When that product came out, they launched it, and this was on the Intel side and NVIDIA side, with older chips and an even older graphics card at the time when the brand new product came out. And even the Surface Surface Studio 2 did the same thing. Microsoft has this weird tradition of doing this. And on the AMD side, I almost wonder if they went to them and said, hey, we'll buy your latest, or we want the latest and greatest chips for our Xbox Series X. And AMD's like, yeah, we'll give it to you. We'll give you priority. And they said, all you got to do is just buy our old chips and help us clear inventory. Microsoft's like, sure, we'll shove them in our Surface stuff. I don't know if it necessarily went out like that, but that's sometimes how it feels. You've got the Series X with great chips, and then this Surface Laptop's launching with last year's stuff. So anyways, so be on the lookout for a Surface Laptop 4, and I hope they don't, and I don't believe that they are going to change the formula much. Surface Laptop is one of those just leave it as is products. It's nice, it's vanilla, it's very basic, and that's fine. I mean, you look what Apple tried to do with like the MacBook Pro, where it had all these things, and now there appears like they're going to be backtracking, getting rid of the touch bar and other stuff. So I hope that they just leave it the same way. It's also going to include Intel 11th gen chips are going to be on the agenda as well, and so look for that here in the next several weeks. Microsoft hosting this event and giving the Surface Laptop 4 a nice little refresh. I don't think we're going to see anything crazy. I don't believe Thunderbolt 4 is going to be on the agenda. Look for, I believe, again, I believe they're going to stick with the Surface Connect, but maybe they'll surprise us. But I'm not expecting anything crazy. Just a nice little refresh. There's going to be other things that are going to be talked about at this event as well. One of the things that I've been hearing, and actually I started hearing about this particular item several years ago, I think 2019. Microsoft is expected to announce a webcam as well. At least that's what I'm hearing, according to people familiar with the company's plans. And so it's not going to be like a blockbuster hero piece by any means, but look for a new webcam. I believe it's going to be 1080p HDR and have a privacy shutter as well. And so be on the lookout for Microsoft to announce that. Microsoft's actually been in the webcam industry for a long time. I think as far back as 2006, and I believe their latest launch, and I quote unquote latest, was the LifeCam Studio, but that was back in 2010. Do not buy that product. You can still go out, and actually think Microsoft Store still has it, but it's from 2010. The image sensor is bad. Do not buy it. If you need a webcam today, Logitech C920 is a great pickup if you can find one. After 2020, those webcams were kind of hard to find for a while, and so I haven't checked inventory lately, but I suspect that they're rebounding. But anyways, be on the lookout for Microsoft coming with a new webcam. I don't think it's going to have 4K either. I think 1080p is going to be the resolution. So hopefully maybe it's a budget priced webcam. So there you go. Other things, Microsoft's going to have some audio fun. I'm not going to dive too much into that, but just be on the lookout for some audio peripherals, and I think dongles might be on the agenda as well. So not a major event. Microsoft isn't going crazy here, but that's just kind of been the marching orders for the Surface lineup, just building just consistent and genuine products that they like, and it keeps them in the conversation. And honestly, most people who have Surface products tend to like them. This is a Surface Book 3 right here, and as everybody who watches this channel and podcast and everything, I use it just about every single day, and it has held up pretty well. So be on the lookout for a spring hardware event from Microsoft. Look for laptops, look for webcams, look for some audio stuff I believe might be coming as well. And so it should be a good spring for Microsoft. And as we learn more, make sure to keep it subscribed here, because the only BS on this channel is me.